This conference will now be recorded.
Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss about screen flow, and we have to understand what exactly is screen flow and how can we design a screen which can be used to supply the input values to the flow at runtime, and how can we perform the required operations inside your application through those input values. We'll see with the help of screen flow. So, during the automation rules, we have discussed so many use cases, how to create some records, how to update some records also, to synchronize the values, how to send the email notifications to the people, and then now we will see how can we configure screen flows. Now, so what exactly is screen flow? What did you understood with this? Any idea what exactly is screen flow? Anyone that already told you during the time? During that flows topic, already have explained what are the various types of flows are available, what is the significance of each and every flow type, that already we have discussed. Now, so now basically, screen flow provides a user interface. That means a screen which contains some visual appearance controls. Visual appearance controls. Now, so now screen flow provides a user interface which contains some visual appearance controls like as text boxes, checkboxes, pick list controls, pick list multi-select controls, lookup controls, button controls, the various controls we can able to represent on the user interface. That means screen flow contains a user interface. On this user interface, we can able to place various text boxes also, checkbox controls also, pick list controls also, lookup controls also. The various types of controls we can able to specify, and then here we can able to invoke these actions by click on some button controls. We can have some button controls which can be used to invoke some actions. So as of now, we have discussed record triggered flow. Whenever I'm creating some records or whenever I'm updating the records, depends upon the event which we have selected, the flow will get fired automatically. But it won't expect any input value from the end user because already it is having some data, and that existing data it will perform the operation. But now here, as part of this screen flow will provide a user interface which provides some visual appearance controls. So upon invoking this flow, automatically the screen will be visible to you. On this screen we have to supply the input values. Whatever the text boxes or check boxes or pick list controls are available, for those controls we have to supply the input values. Whatever the input values we have supplied, based on the input value it will be performing the actions. So in this case, as part of this screen flows are always expecting some input value from the end user. Based on the input values which we have supplied at runtime, it will perform the actions on the application. Now, so now in this case, how can we design a screen? We'll see with the practical today. Now, once the screen flow has been designed, screen flows can't invoke automatically here. If it is a record triggered flow, upon inserting the record or updating the record, it will fire automatically. But screen flows can't fire by its own. Okay, we need to make it run. In order to run this screen flow, we can able to use the help of either a quick action also, or a link also, or it may be button also. Depends upon the requirement. Upon click on a quick action, upon click on the button, upon click on the link, now the screen flow will get fired. It will open the screen for you. In that screen, we can supply the required visual appearance controls. We can able to supply the input values. Upon click on the button control, it will perform the required actions. So that here, as part of this screen flows can't invocable by its own. We need to invoke them manually by using the help of quick actions at the buttons at the links. Based on your business requirement, we can able to invoke them. So now in this case, how can we design this screen and how can we place this flow inside my application, how to invoke it, how to perform the actions. Okay, we'll see practically one by one. Okay, now let's see. Make a note of this one. Screen flow. Screen flow contains screen flow contains one or more user interfaces. That means screens which contains the visual appearance controls. Visual appearance controls. For example, text boxes, checkboxes, picklist control, lookup control, etc. Now, visual appearance controls which can be used to supply the required input values to the flow at runtime. Based on the input values supplied at runtime, it will perform the action inside the application. Now, screen flows can't be invocable by its own. We need to invoke it manually by referencing inside a quick action or button or link, etc. Now, based on the business requirement, we have to design the screens by placing the required input controls. By placing the required input controls. Then how can we do that? Now let's see with the practical. Done with this? Now, let's see. So how can we design this screen flow? Let's see. So let me take a small requirement. I'm going to my Salesforce org. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. In this Salesforce org, we have so many objects are available, including standard, including custom, so many objects are available. Now, for example, I have an object here, like as hiring manager. When I click on this new button, a new form will be getting opened over here. This is called as page layout, which is in editable format. In this page layout, whatever the fields that we have, all the fields are getting populated over here, which contain some values are already available inside these fields. Based on the input values, it will create a new hiring manager record. Now, let's see. Now, when I go to my custom object here, for example, candidate. As soon as once you click on candidate object, when you open any of the candidate record, here we are having the buttons, new contact, new opportunity like this. These are all our quick actions. Okay, these are all our quick actions. Now let's see. When I click on this new contact button, it will open a screen. Okay, this is a screen flow. It's a screen flow. Now it is populating the fields salutation, first name, last name, email, phone, account record, title. Now tell me these are the only fields that we have in contact object? No. So many fields are available in the contact object. But in this flow, in this screen, they have placed only the basic fields or the important fields which are required to create a new contact record. Now, let's see. When I click on this new opportunity, it is opening a flow. This is a screen flow, which is populating opportunity name, account name, close date, stage, amount, and the next step. These are the only fields that we have in opportunity object? No, we have so many fields. We have probability field, next step field, lead source field. We are having that so many fields are also available, but it won't populate all, it is populating only some fields. So these are all our screen flows, which has been configured. Now, like the similar way, now what I want to do is, here I would like to add one more quick action over here. I would like to populate one more quick action over here, like with the name new hiring manager. I would like to populate, okay, one more, okay, quick action over here with the name new HR. As soon as once I click on this new HR quick action, it should show a screen. It should display a screen. In this screen, it should populate the fields. So whatever the fields are required to create the HR record, HR name field, location field, contact number field, email ID field, current CTC field, employment type field, designation field. I want to place all the fields on my screen. So I want to design a screen. So in this screen, I want to place hiring manager object related fields, and then I would like to have a button control like save button. So now in this case what happened in the candidate records a detail page. Okay, in the candidate records a detail page. Here I want to add a quick action with the name new HR record. Upon click on this quick action, immediately a screen flow has to be get open. It should invoke the screen flow. Screen flow will represent a screen. In this screen, it will be having all the text boxes to enter the HR record details. When I click on save button, I want to create a new record. That means in order to create the candidate HR record, you no need to go to the hiring manager object. From candidate object also, I want to create a HR record. Okay. So for that reason, I want to design a screen flow. So now in this case, how can we design this screen flow? Okay, by placing the required visual appearance controls. Now let me show you with practical. Okay. Now let's see. I'm going to the setup menu. I would like to configure a flow. Now make a note of this use case. Configure a screen flow to create a new hiring manager record inside the object. Design a screen by placing all the hiring manager object fields to supply the required input to create a record. Now, place the screen flow on the candidate records detail page by using a quick action. By using a quick action. Done with this? Now, let's see how can we configure this screen flow. I'm going to my Salesforce Arc, go to the quick find box, search for the option flows. You know how to configure the flows, already we have discussed. Multiple scenarios also we have discussed in the past. Now, click on new flow button. In order to create a new flow, use the button new flow. Now it will ask you to select that flow type. What type of flow that you would like to configure. Now I would like to select the flow type as screen flow. By default, it is selecting screen flow type here. Now I'm selecting this as same. Click on create. Now select that form type as free form layout. Okay, free form layout. Now it is providing that flow elements also in the left panel. In the left panel, we are having these flow elements that already we know. We are having three types of elements are available in the lighting flows, like the screen elements, and then interaction elements, and the data elements, and the logical. So now interaction elements are screen elements are both are same. And then we have logical elements, and then we have data elements. These are the three types of elements are available over here in lighting flows. Now this is the initial starting point of the flow. That means where exactly the flow has to be get initiated, from where it has to be start executing, that will be indicating that starting point of the flow. Now what is my requirement? I would like to design a user interface. I want to design a user interface over here. In this user interface, I would like to place all the fields which is used to supply the input values to create a new hiring manager record. In order to design a screen, here we are having a screen element. As part of this flow, we have a screen element. Just you can able to drag and drop this screen element in order to place the required input controls on this. Now, let's see how can we do that. Now, I'm adding a screen element. Whenever I'm selecting this option screen element, now whenever we are drag and drop this option, it is going to be providing that screen. In this screen, you will be having three parts are available, three panels are available. Okay. Now, when you observe these panels, this is the left panel, that means first panel. This is the second panel. This is the third panel. Three panels are available over here. As soon as whenever once you click on this screen, upon designing a screen, okay, it is providing this three panels are available. In these three panels, in the left panel, that means in the first panel, it is providing various data types. What type of field you want to place on the screen? What type of field you want to place on the screen, that we can able to decide. It is populating so many data types, whatever we have in Salesforce, like text type, email type, phone type, pick list type, pick list multi-select type, lookup type, okay, like the checkbox type, like that all the types of fields will be getting visible here. Whatever the data types are required, whatever the field types are required, all will be populating inside this okay, left panel. From this one, we can able to select. Now, second one here, this is the actual screen. Second panel is a actual screen where exactly we can able to design your user interface. Whatever the components are required, all the components we can able to drag and drop onto this screen over here. We can drag and drop these components onto the screen, and then we can able to design your own visual appearance by placing the required text boxes, pick list controls, check boxes, and everything. Now, whenever we are placing a control, whenever we are placing a text box control or a checkbox control or pick list control on this particular screen, for this particular control, whatever the properties you would like to set, what label you would like to show, what is the default option you would like to set. If you want to make it as a mandatory, if it is a pick list field, what options you would like to populate, everything we can able to set by using this third panel. Third panel is used for properties. Okay, each and every screen property and each and every okay input control properties we can able to set by using third panel. Third panel is going to be representing only properties options. It will be indicating properties. Now, then how can we do that? Now let's see. The first panel is for data types. Second panel is for to represent the fields to be visible on the screen. Third one is for properties. If you want to change the properties, if you want to set some values, if you want to use some labels, everything we can able to set from here in the third panel. Now let's see. This is the screen. This is the screen. In this screen, we are having this header part. This is the header part. This is the footer part. We have header. We have footer. When you go to this header, it is indicating the label. If you want to show some label here, if you want to show some label, then we can specify. If you don't want to show the header part, we can remove it. Now in the footer panel, we are having three buttons: pause button, previous button, finish button. I don't want this a pause button. I don't want the previous button. I want only this button here. That too, I don't want to show the name finish. I want to show the label as save. Then how can we customize? So now in this case, by default, whatever the screen is available, the screen related properties are available over here. These are screen properties. Now, for this screen, okay, what is the label you would like to show that we can decide? Now, if you want to show the header part or not, if you want to show the footer part or not, that we can control. In order to do that, here we are having all the properties are available here. We can specify the label for this particular screen. We can specify the API name, description, and the configure the header, configure the footer. So this is the header part over here. If you don't want to show this header part, just go to the configure header. There is a checkbox called as show header checkbox. By default, checkbox is selected. That's what header part is visible over here. If you don't want this header part, unselect this checkbox over here. Now, automatically header part has been eliminated. Okay. Now, if you want to show the header, select this header part. Next one. When you go to the footer part over here, configure the footer. If you don't want to show this kind of buttons, just you can able to unselect this checkbox, show footer, footer part will be getting eliminated automatically. If you want to show the footer, then specify the footer. Okay. Now, so now the third panel is used to purely to set the properties for each and every control. Now here I would like to show that label. Now I would like to indicate the label over here. I'm giving the label new hiring manager record. New hiring manager record. I'm giving this label. The same thing I'm giving as a description also. Now I want to show the footer, but in this footer, I don't want this pass button. I don't want previous button. I'm designing only one screen. So we no need to go back to that. So don't want this a previous button. In this case here, for each and every button, it is providing the property. Next button are finish button properties. You want to show this next button or not? If you don't want to show this, okay, the next button, okay, next are finish button. If you don't want to show that, select the option, okay, hide finish button. Each and every button control related properties. Whenever I'm selecting hide next or finish button, that finish button has been disabled. If you want, we can able to use that. Now, if you want to change this a label here, okay, I don't want to show finish, I want to show label as save record. Now here we have the option use a custom label. Select this radio button, enter the label whatever you want. I'm giving the name as save record. Okay, it will be changing this button caption. Now the previous button. I don't want this a previous button over here. So hide previous. Button has been disabled. And then pass button. I don't want this pass button here. I'm removing this. What buttons you want, what buttons you don't want, that we can customize. So now this is my screen over here. So now we have prepared the screen. Okay, in this screen, I have given some label over here. I have placed a button. Now, on this screen, I would like to place the text boxes, check boxes, and everything. Now I would like to place the fields, like as to enter the hiring manager name. I want to design the screen to enter the hiring manager name, contact number, email ID, location, designation, employment type, current CTC, all these fields I would like to place. Now, first one hiring manager name. That will be of type what? Text type. Here it is populating all the data type, address type, call script type, checkbox type, checkbox group, currency type, data table, date type, date and time, dependent pick list, image type, email type, like that all these things are available over here. All these options are available over here. I would like to go with the text type over here. Text type. Just we can drag and drop. As soon as whenever we are drag and drop this particular component, then immediately the property window will be visible over here. The text data type, that means the text control properties are visible. Label, what label you would like to specify? We can give that label. I'm giving as enter hiring manager name. I'm giving the label here, enter hiring manager name. So the label will be visible. Now, if you want to mark this field as mandatory field, then select the checkbox required. Automatically, the field will be marking as mandatory over here. Okay, I have placed one text box. Next, second one, I would like to place contact number of the hiring manager. Now that will be of type phone type. Just you can drag and drop phone type. So now whatever the field we have selected, that field properties will be visible over here in the right panel. Now we can change it. Now label. Here I am indicating the label as contact number. Enter contact number. Label I am indicating the same. Label and the name. This is the API name. This is the label. Okay, label can have some spaces. API name should be always single word. Now I want to make this field as mandatory here. If you want to use any pattern for that phone number, then you can specify the pattern. If you want to give any placeholder text, then we can specify phone number. It will be showing that watermark. For the watermark, we have placeholder property. If you want to mark it as read only, then we can able to select the option over here, true. Okay, true option. This is a false. I don't want to mark it as read only here. I want to make it as required. So select the option over here, required equals to true. Now we are marking it as mandatory. Clear? All the settings are available here itself. These are all the properties. Next, I would like to place the email address field. Drag and drop. This is the email field. I'm giving the label as enter email address. Now I'm giving this API name also the same. Now email address field, I would like to mark it as mandatory. Required equals to true. I'm marking it as mandatory over here. Next. After that, what is the next field? Location field. Location will be of type what? Pick list. Pick list control. Drag and drop. Okay, location. I'm giving the label as select the city name or location name. Now select the location name. Now this location will be holding that data type will be text kind of values. Now string values will be available. In this case here we will be having the option. You want to choose multiple options? No. I want to select only one location name here. So that we are indicating if I'm selecting yes, it will be selecting multiple also. That means in that case it will show like as a radio buttons or checkboxes options. I don't want to make it visible. Now in this case in the location field, we need to populate some values, right? Yes. What location names you would like to populate? Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, like that. These options already have given in my field. Upon creating the location field in my hiring manager object, already we have entered all these options. Now what I want to do is, same option I don't want to enter over here. I want to go to that object. I want to go to the location field. I want to go to the options. I want to collect. I want to populate automatically here. Because in future, suppose tomorrow, if I'm adding two more city names in the hiring manager objects location field, those two new city names also should populate here as well automatically. Okay. For that reason here, go to the choice option. Choice means selecting the options. What options you would like to populate? For that one, just you can click on the lookup icon. Now click on new choice resource. Select the option new choice resource. Resource type. This will be of type pick list of choice set. That means pick list options. Pick list options over here. These are not records, these are not the collections. These are the pick list. Now I would like to collect the pick list options. Now give the API name. I'm giving like as location name. I'm giving the description also the same. Then where is this pick list options are available? Inside my object. In which object? Hiring manager object. So select the object name as hiring manager. In this hiring manager object, whatever the fields are available, those fields are populated. Data type. What type of field it is? Pick list field. Now, what pick list field? Whatever the pick list fields are available in my hiring manager object, all will be getting populated automatically over here. We are having this location field and then employment type designation. Now, which field values you would like to collect? Location field values. Now, whenever I'm giving this a field name, then it will go to this hiring manager object. It will go to that pick list field, which is nothing but the location name field. It will go to this field. It will go to the options. Whatever the city names we have entered over there, it will collect all the options. Those options will be adding inside my pick list control here automatically on the flow. This is a functionality. So instead of entering the values always by your own, just you can go to that field, reference those options as well. Okay. Now, so now in this case, in my location field, in my hiring manager object location field, already we have entered the values. Those values I would like to populate in my pick list control. But upon populating these values in the pick list control, you want to arrange them in a specific order or not. For that one, here we are having these three options: ascending order, descending order, default order of field. Now, in this case, if I am selecting ascending, it will arrange in ascending order. Descending, it will be arranging in descending. But already, upon creating the location field in the hiring manager object, we have entered the values. There already have selected a checkbox over the radio button we have selected. Arrange the elements in alphabetical order checkbox we have selected. So already we have selected that option. So whatever the starting order we have selected on the location field in my hiring manager object, set that same option here also. That's what we are selecting, default order of field. Clear? Now click on done button. Click on done. Now the pick list field has been added over here. Select the location. So in this location name field, it will populate all the values of your hiring manager objects. Location field values will be populating automatically. Suppose if you are adding some more cities in future in the hiring manager objects location, it will collect those new city names, it will populate here. If you remove some options over there, it will remove from here also automatically. Okay. Now, next, what is the next field? Designation. Here also the designation also same type of pick list. So just I'm going to be adding one more designation field. Now I would like to indicate, select the designation. Now I want to select only one option over here, not multiple. Choice type. Now select the option new choice resource. Resource type as pick list of choice set. That means whatever the options you choice means what options. Okay, choice means options. Now pick list set. I'm indicating a designation. Now I would like to collect the values from my hiring manager object. I'm going to the hiring manager object. I will go to the pick list fields. I'm selecting this designation field. Whatever the options are available, those options I would like to populate. I want to set the default order which I have set on my hiring manager's designation field. Done. Next one. One more pick list field. What is that? Employment type. Now, select the employment type. I want to make the user can select only one option. Select that choice type, new choice resource. I'm selecting the resource type as pick list to choice set. These are the pick list options. I'm giving the name as employment type. I want to collect the values from my hiring manager object. I want to get the values from the pick list field, which is employment type. I want to set the default sorting order that I have given at the field level. Next, what is the last field? Currency field. Currency field. I would like to populate it. I'm giving the label. Enter the currency. Now, if you want to mark it as mandatory, then you can mark it as mandatory here. Clear? Decimal places are zero. I don't want any decimal places. Clear? These are the fields. Whatever the fields are required, we have placed. Hiring manager name field, and then here. For this field, this is a field over here. We can specify that, validate the input also, provide help messages also. Now, we can able to specify those options as well. Depends upon the requirement. We have placed this hiring manager name field, contact number field, email ID field, location field, designation, employment type, current CTC. Once you are done with this all these options, then click on done. Now my screen is ready. We have designed the screen over here. Clear? Now just you can map the connector here. Map the connector. So now as soon as whenever we are invoking this flow, immediately this screen will be getting visible by default. In this screen, what it will show, it will place the text boxes, checkbox, sorry, the pick list controls everything. In that one, we are entering some values. Okay, now after entering the values, when you click on save record button, what it has to do? It has to create a record. In which object? Hiring manager object. Whatever the options, whatever the values we have entered, these values it has to store into the respective fields. Then how it will store? After taking the input, what needs to be done? We need to invoke some action, right? That means we need to save the record. How to save the record? That is nothing but creating a record. For that one, we have a action called as create record element. Use that create record element. Now this is only the screen just to supply the input values. On that input values, what action you want to do that we have to implement separately. That is only the screen to supply the input. That's it. Now, as soon as once you click on save record button, immediately this action will be getting invoked over here. Now, generally, whenever we are creating the record through Apex programming, what we are going to do, I'm creating the object of hiring manager class. Then we are passing the values, right? HR record dot name equals to name value. HR record dot location equals to some value. Okay, email ID value, and then contact number value. Like that, we are passing the values we need to insert here. Like the similar way, those values and the text boxes we have entered the values, we need to pass the values to fields. Then we need to insert the record. For that one, in order to create a new record, we have create a record action is available here. Okay, already we have discussed create record action. We have discussed in the previous sessions also. Upon creating an account, we have created a related contact record also. There we have discussed over there. Now give the label. Create hiring manager record. I'm giving the description. So how many records you would like to create? Only one record. Now how to set the record fields? So now in this case, already I have designed a screen. In that screen, I have placed those text box values. Now those values I would like to pass to the fields. So for that reason, select the option use a separate resource and literal values. That means whatever the options, whatever the screen that I have designed, whatever the text boxes and the picture controls we have placed, take each and every value separately, pass to our fields, and then insert the record. For that one, I would like to do that setting. Now click on use the separate resources and literal values. Now, in this case, whatever the values you have supplied, with those values, in which object you would like to create the record. I would like to create the record inside my hiring manager object. Whenever I'm going to be selecting this hiring manager object, in this hiring manager object, whatever the fields are available, we can able to select, we can pass a value. Now observe this one. Here we need to pass a value here, which can be selecting from your screen component. On the screen, we have placed the text boxes, right? Enter first, like as hiring manager name, enter contact number, enter email ID, select the location, select designation. From there, we need to collect this value, we need to pass your field. Here, hiring manager object field, we have to select. Here, we need to select that element from the screen. This is from the screen element. This is a HR object field. Because the same thing we are doing in our programming also. In programming also, we used to do the same thing over here. Let's see. Whenever we are creating a record inside the object over there. For example, when you go to that, now see, we are going to passing the values. Now this is a field name, this is a value. But now this value we are collecting from our screen element over here. That's it. Okay. Now let's see. Select the field name. In hiring manager object, what field you would like to select first? Name field. Hiring manager name. Now, the value should be coming from where? From a screen. Just to go to the value, here we are having the option called as screen components. On the screen, whatever the text boxes, whatever the pictures controls we have specified, all these things will be getting populated. Here we have placed one element called as enter hiring manager name. That's what here, please give proper meaningful names over there so that we can able to relate them very easily. Now enter hiring manager name. In this hiring manager name, in the screen, on the screen, in the hiring manager name field, whatever the value we have entered, that I'm passing to my name field. Like the similar fashion, add field. Second one, contact number. I want to pass a value. The value I'm going to be collecting from the screen component. Now this is a contact number here. Contact number dot value. Inside that, okay, phone field, whatever the value that I have entered, that value I would like to populate inside my field. Next, email ID, email address. Now, I would like to collect the value from email field. Enter email address field, collect the value. Current CTC. I would like to collect the value from the screen component. Here we are having this, enter the current CTC value. Next one, location field. Now I want to collect the value here from my screen element. What is that field you would like to collect here? What text field value would like to collect now? From the screen component, I want to collect that location name. Location field. Select the location name. Next one, designation. I want to collect the value from designation field. Go to the screen components, designation field. Select the designation. And the last one, employment type. Employment type. Now that value I would like to collect it from the screen component over here. This is employment type. That's it. Okay. So we need to map it. Screen is only to just to place the text boxes to supply the values. That's it. In the text boxes, whatever the values we have entered, we need to collect those values, pass to our fields, create the record. That process we have to do separately manually over here. Okay. Now click on done button. We are done with passing the values for all the fields over here. Click on done. Now we have supplied the values for each and every field inside my hiring manager object through screen elements. Now you can do that mapping here. Map the connector. Done. So with this one, my flow is ready. Okay. Now my flow is ready here. Now save the flow. Create new HR record flow. I'm giving the description also the same. Click on save button. Now my flow has been created successfully, but it is in inactive status right now. Make it activate. Now make it activate. Now done. My flow has been activated. Then when it will run? No, it won't run. If it is a recorded triggered flow, there we are selecting the event when it has to run. Upon creating the record, upon updating the record, we are selecting. But here we don't have any such kind of event because screen flows can't run by its own. We don't have any initiation points. We don't have any specific event to make it trigger. So for that reason, we need to invoke this flow manually. So that here I want to create a quick action. Okay, that quick action I would like to place on my recorded detail page. So now on what object you would like to show this screen flow? I want to show this screen flow on candidate objects detail page. So go to the candidates tab, create a quick action. Go to the setup menu, click on edit object. Here we are having a section called as buttons, links and actions section. Buttons, links and actions section. Here we have an option called as new action. By using this new action, we can able to create a new quick action. If you want to create a button, we can go with this. If you want to create a link, we can go with this here. Depends upon the requirement. Now I'm using this new quick action. Now here, select the action type. That means here, upon click on that quick action, what needs to be done? Now, it needs to invoke a flow. Okay, it needs to invoke a flow. So what is the flow name? This is the flow name. Create a new HR record flow. Whatever the flows are available, all the flow names will be getting populated over here. Now I would like to invoke this flow, create new HR record flow. Now, standard label type. If you want to give any label type, then you can able to specify that label also over here. If you want to use any standard label, then you can use. I want to use my own label over here. I'm indicating new hiring manager. I'm giving the label as new hiring manager here for the quick action. I'm giving the same description. Clear? Now, That means I'm creating a quick action with the name new hiring manager. Upon click on this new hiring manager quick action, now this flow will be getting invoked. The flow will open the screen and the screen will be having text boxes in the controls. We can supply the values. When you click on save button, it will invoke your trigger. That means it will be invoking your action. It is going to be creating a record. Okay. Now click on save button. Now my quick action has been prepared. Once the quick action is ready, we need to place this quick action on your page layout. So go to the candidate object page layout. Go to the candidate object page layout. Click on the page layout name. Here you will be having that actions sections will be available here. See, here we are having various sections. We are having mobile and lighting actions section over here. Once you click on this, okay, customize icon, we can see what kind of icons are available here. These are all are the mobile and lighting action. That means quick actions will be available over here. Now here go to that mobile and lighting actions. Just now we have created a quick action with the name new hiring manager. Just you can add at the starting. At the starting we can able to place. Now just you can drag and drop and place at the starting. Wherever it is showing this green symbol over here, the starting here. That just you can able to place it. I want to place it at the starting. Now click on save button. Okay. We have to create that quick action. That quick action we have to place onto your page layout. Clear? Now let's go back to your candidate object now. Refresh the candidate object. Open any of the record here. On the detail page, we are having this option, new hiring manager. Now we are having this new quick action is available here. As soon as once you click on this new hiring manager quick action, it will open this screen flow. Whatever the screen flow that we have designed, that screen flow will be getting opened over here. It is populating the fields. It is giving that label also, header also, new hiring manager. Fields are available here, hiring manager name, contact number, email ID. When you go to the location field, in hiring manager object, in location field, whatever the options we have populated, all the options will be populating as it is over here. Designations also, it is collecting the designation options from my hiring manager's designation field. Employment type options also, it is populating automatically by collecting from my object field over here. Okay. Now here we can able to enter the data. Now I am going to be creating a new record over here. I am giving the hiring manager name. Let me take a person name over here. Now, for example, I'm giving that name as Sharat Chandra. Okay, Sharat Chandra. Sharat Chandra is the HR person name. Contact number, I'm giving some value. Email ID, sharat.c@gmail.com. And the location I'm selecting as some Chennai. Designation some HR manager. Employment type will be permanent. CTC some 25 lakhs. Okay, CTC 25 lakhs. Now after entering the data in all these fields, as soon as once you click on this save record button, it will be invoking that action, that is create record action. Create record action will collect all these input values. It will pass to the fields. It will create a record inside my hiring manager object automatically. Click on save record button. Now my record has been created successfully. Let's go to your hiring manager object now. Now we can see the record. Sharat Chandra record will be available here. What is the name that I have given? Sharat Chandra, right?
Just refresh, sir.
Just refresh. Once refresh.
Now let's see the records.
If you look at the recent record, it will show.
Now we'll see. Now, Sharat Chandra record has been created successfully. Just you can able to select this option here, just select the record. Now, whatever the details that I have given for this particular record, all the details are populated here. With these details, a new record has been created successfully. Okay. So now this is how we can able to create our own records through screen flows. So that here, not only firing the flows, okay, in the background, we can able to make that flow should be okay representing the user interface to you through which we can supply some input values at runtime. Based on those input values, we can perform the required actions also. Okay, this is the concept of screen flow as part of your Salesforce org. So based on your requirement, we can able to design the required screens and we can able to invoke those screen flows with the help of either a quick action or a button or a link. We can depends upon the requirement. We can able to place it wherever you want. Okay. Now, clear up to this one. Now, so do the practice on these features over here. This is the concept of screen flows in Salesforce. These two are very, very important. Okay, most of the times we are using recorded triggered flows. Always we are concentrating on recorded triggered flows because we need to make the things automatically executed, not based on some button clicks and all these things. These are very rare cases here. Most of the cases we are going with the recorded triggered flows, which will be firing based on some DML events automatically, like as automation rules. Okay, now so do the practice on these features here. Okay, and the next session we'll see some more functionalities. Okay, so for the 7 o'clock batch people, next session will be on Monday again. Okay, this weekend I have the lighting sessions are available here, so we don't have the sessions on this weekend. So now next session will be on Monday morning here. Okay, normal timings. For 11 o'clock
Excuse
batch
me.
people, at 11 o'clock we are having the session as usual. Please be available at 11 o'clock. Okay, thank you.